Hi there, welcome to Kneppy Invest, and welcome to the final trading day of the week. It is June 7, 2024. One more week until the day we are all waiting for. The greatest day of the year by far. Now, there's someone out there screaming, it's because it's Donald Trump's birthday. Now, that's not the reason. Neither is it because it's Boy George's birthday or Steffi Graf's birthday, or even someone might be saying, maybe it's because it's Flag Day. No, that's not the reason. There's another reason why June 14 is by far, it's not even close, by far the greatest day of the year. But we have 1 week before we get to June 14. Today is June the 7th. And overall, it's been a pretty good day, particularly mining. But I'll talk about that in a second. So the agenda for today's video is fairly similar than other ASX Daily Rundown videos, apart from Twitter or tweets. I actually haven't looked at Twitter for a few days. I have been busy, so no tweets to go through. So the first thing we'll do is have a look at the best performing and the worst performing sectors, indices, and companies. And then I do have a top 5 announcements of the day and a few companies who did not make it. Now, there is a fairly small cap tinge to the top 5 announcements. A few of the companies are really small. One company is not so small, but most of the companies are fairly small. In fact, maybe 2 or 3 are absolute microcaps. Definitely 2, I think, have a market cap below $10 million. But they all released announcements that intrigued me just a little bit. A few other companies also released announcements that intrigued me a little bit, but they did not make it into the top 5 announcements of the day. Will I have a look at some charts? Wait and see. I do have a little bit of time on my hands, so maybe I will have a look at 1 or 2 charts towards the end of the video. Okay, so let's have a look at the ASX today. We've had a pretty good day, pretty good end to the week. Everything is up, it seems like, except healthcare and IT. So IT's down. Not sure why. That's not for me to try to understand. But discretionary has had the best day. So I thought maybe mining, but mining's just behind discretionary. So for some reason, retail companies, that's those sort of companies, have had a good day. Staples are just behind at 0.55%. Telecommunications. So overall, a pretty good day, unless you're heavily invested in IT stocks. And gold's had another pretty good day as well. I haven't actually had a look at gold chart for a little bit. So let's have a look at the gold chart. Wants me to connect. And gold's up. Yep, gold's had 3 good days in a row. What about copper? Copper, yeah, I think the little bit of a dip has is possibly coming to an end. I won't confirm it just yet. So mining companies have had a few good days in a row after was looking a little bit weak for those companies, just because we did see quite a few commodities fall in price, particularly Wednesday or Tuesday, Wednesday. Anyway, let's go back to the ASX today. Where is it? There it is. And I'll just open up and have a look at how ASX 20 companies have done. So up 0.5%. So just based off probability, you'd say maybe 15 companies are up, 5 are down. Actually, I'm going to go 14 up, 6 down because 14th of June. So let's do that. 14 up, 6 down. 16 up, 3 down, 1 flat. So even better day than I thought. So which 3 companies have gone down today? So based off IT, I'm going to go, well, we already know CSL. So the other 2 companies, I'm going to say WiseTech, and what else was down? Was it energy? So I'm going to say WiseTech. Was it energy? I can't remember. Bad memory. Healthcare. No, healthcare. So I'm going to say WiseTech and, well, CSL. That's healthcare. So WiseTech, and I'm going to say, let's go WiseTech and REA Group. Let's have a look. Westpac, WiseTech, and Transurban. Well, now we have 4 down and 16 up, and I did get at least one of those companies right, but for some reason, Westpac is a little bit weak today. Worst performing company in the ASX 20. The best performing company in the ASX 20. In fact, there's 4 companies up by over 1%. Aristocrat, Fortescue, BHP. So obviously iron ore has had a good day as well. And Wes Farmers. And then Rio Tinto is just behind them. So obviously iron ore has done really well. So let's have a look at iron ore. Quick look at iron ore. somewhere in here, maybe toward the bottom. There it is, up 1.1% today. Actually, 1.01%, although it has dipped a little bit, but that's okay after a pretty torrid run during most of the week. It has gone up the last 2 days. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at the best performing and worst performing companies. This is going to be a little bit of a surprise because apart from me looking at some of the announcements early in the day, I have not had a ganza. Is that a word? I've not had a glance at how the market has performed. So this is exciting. And J-Ride Group is up 50%. Now, I actually did write this ticker code down, J-Ride Group. It did not make it into my top 5 announcements. I'm not, and turnover is really small. So this is a really small turnover. Their announcement was sort of like a trading update. It's not my favorite type of company. Market cap's only 2.8 million. They provide transport to airports. That's virtually what they do. Provide transport to airports. You think I'm joking? Let's open up J-Ride. It's probably a little bit more complicated than that. Founded in 2012, is an online travel marketplace for airport transfers. Okay, so that's probably much better way of saying what they do than what I said. They just provide transport to airports. Okay, so I have very little interest in J-Ride Group. Otherwise, LTR Pharma is in the top 5 best performing companies today, and this company is in my top 5. In fact, it has come in at number 1. Pretty good turnover as well. That company did release an intriguing announcement. And then that's it, looks like. Let's have a look by market cap. Hopefully a few other companies are on this list. Novonix did not make it into my top 5. However, the company did. There were rumors that Novonix was going to do a capital raising, and Novonix today nipped that on the bud, saying, no, we are well cashed up. We don't have to do capital raising. Share price has rallied 9.3%. What I might do is I'll look at all these charts of these companies that I'm just going to talk about. So J-Ride, Novonix, just to see if there is a nice little potential breakout for all these companies. Royal Biosurgery's up today, 8.77%, but no announcement. And that's it. So only that LTR was in this list. Okay, so let's have a look at the worst performing companies today. And nothing here at all. Nothing at all. Nope, nothing at all here. So let's have a look by market cap. And well, Life360, they have listed on the NASDAQ or something. So they had the first day of trading down 6.88%. I'm not sure. Now, maybe because the share price disappointed on the NASDAQ, maybe. I don't know. But that's okay. So I don't really want to talk about that because it's just sentiment over there. I don't know. And other than that, yeah, I can't see anything else here. City Chic's down even further. Let's have a look at City Chic's chart as well. City Chic chart. And that's it. Okay, so let's have a look at the top 5 announcements of the day. But before that, there are a few other companies I just want to talk about briefly. And I'll also have a look at the chart of these companies. Should I mention Lululemon? Who goes? Are there Lululemon stores in Australia? I have no idea. Not the sort of person who go into a Lululemon. They did release their results and it beat expectations. But the chart interests me for that company because the results were better than expected. But when you look at the chart before these results were released, I think the market was expecting the complete opposite. We'll have a look at Novonix and another company called Farm Pride. So I'll talk about all these companies. Actually, no, I'll talk about these companies right now that I haven't discussed. So I've already discussed J-Ride, Novonix, Rocketboots, ROC, Rocketboots up 9.5% on a market update or cash flow position update. So I have heard of this company, no idea what they do. They seems like they do something in regards to medical help. No, it's completely wrong. helps retail banks and retailers deliver the best possible customer service at the lowest cost using AI to fill critical data gaps from existing workforce, customer experience, and loss prevention. Sounds okay. If there is some sort of gap, critical data gap in there, maybe they can find a nice little niche. However, this company is fairly small. So we'll have a look at the chart for this company. Rocketboots, I was going to say Silver Shaver. Shaver Group released an announcement in regards to they'll become the exclusive skull shaver distributor. Market has reacted okay to that, up 2.7%. So we'll have a look at the chart for that company. Bluebet released a trading update and it was positive. So share price up 2.44%. So director announcement and update on trading, and there was a positive update. So we'll look at the chart for that company. And Farm Pride, I have a feeling the share price will be down. I'll be surprised if it's not. You're down 8.33%. And because of this announcement, released at 9:43 a.m., they also released operations and financial update, which I didn't see because it was released at 9:58 a.m. And by that point, I had got away from my computer. So this was really interesting. So avian, I had no idea there was bird flu outbreak in Australia. Sometimes news completely skips by me. So there is a bird flu outbreak in Victoria, and this company, one of their bird farms, chicken farms, was affected. So it looks like they have to cull or kill, or I think, what did they say? They had to, they used a nice word. What did they say? So 40,000 hens and yep, they wanted help from someone. They expected help from someone because they'd have to um, dispose of these birds. So they wanted compensation from the Emergency Animal Disease Compensation Scheme arising from the disposal of these birds. That's the nice word, disposal, not destroy, cull, kill, pack into little pieces. So 40,000 of their 80,000 free range hens were affected, looks like, by aviary flu, bird flu, whatever it's called. And I also read, because I was really interested in this story, also read that America is now, or has banned any imports of these sort of products from Victoria. So it seems like this is a Victoria thing. And then I read that someone died from bird flu. It might be the first instance of someone dying from bird flu. Then I delved a little bit deeper. It's really hard for bird flu to go from birds to humans. Very hard. I also read that a boy caught or contracted bird flu in India, and he was detected in Australia. So went down a nice little rabbit hole when it comes to bird flu, just because of this little announcement from Farm Fright. So we'll have a look at the chart for this company as well. But let's have a look at the top 5 announcements of the day. And we'll start off with number 5. Coming in is a company called Remsense. Remsense Technologies, share price up 8.7%. They released an announcement titled Significant Contract. Now, typically, I don't get excited by announcements that say significant contract. Now, one of the reasons is you'll see the biggest contracts won by maybe contracting companies, and there can be massive contracts, like $500 million contract. But then you just think about it and go, the margins on this contract are going to be significantly low. And then I also wonder, is the reason why you won this contract is because you underbid everyone else, and that means your margins are going to be even lower. So I'm very, not nervous, but I'm very, very wary when I see massive contracts won. Anyway, now, so they mentioned this is a significant contract. Now, this company is fairly small. I'm thinking 10 million market cap. Let's have a look. Oh, wow, I was a bit high. 4.12 million market cap. But this was a significant contract award. So I'm going to talk about Remsense. I have no idea what this company does, by the way. Anyway, so this is, they are pleased to announce that it has received a purchase order from AGC Industries on behalf of Chevron Australia. So it seems like this company does something in relation to automobiles. Maybe it's AI for automobiles. I have no idea. To undertake a virtual plant high-resolution photogrammetry scanning image processing of Chevron's Gorgon LNG Train 1 in northern West Australia for contract value of $543,000. Now, I don't know about money. Now, $534,000 is a lot of money for me, but I'm not sure if that would be considered a significant contract. Doesn't seem a lot of money, but maybe it's just developing a relationship with AGC Industries. What is photogrammetry scanning and image processing? What is photogrammetry? Just taking photos? I have no idea. Photogrammetry is a science of making accurate measurements from photographs and using optics principles, the camera's interior structure. Okay, sort of makes sense. Now, if I do one of those quizzes, like the Cinema Herald quiz, I could answer any sort of photogrammetry question. Okay, so what does Remsense do? Remsense has developed virtual plant, a high-resolution photographic asset visualization platform that delivers an intuitive, immersive relative experience with centralized intelligence for effort asset utilization. Virtual plant, blah, 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 blah. Oh, I'm going to say, I'm surprised I haven't used AI in their About section, but they do. Virtual plant realizes promise of virtual reality AI technology by creating blah, blah, blah. So the company is not that beloved by the market, even though it's an AI company, a tech company. So let's have a look at the chart. Actually, before we have a look at the chart, does this company generate much in the way of receipts? So let's have a look. The last Appendix 4C. I could go even longer, have a look at the history of receipts. Maybe that's what I should do, but again, this is going to take ages to open up because ComSec, for some reason, can be heaps slow. So let's have a look at this, and we'll open up via Market Index because this can take a split second, not even 1 second. And let's have a look at the receipts. Remsense had $162,000 of receipts in the last quarter, and for the first 9 months of the year, 1.277 million. So well off from even sniffing operating cash flow and free cash flow positivityness. So this company is definitely not one I would focus on too much just yet. It has to prove to me it has a business model that is sustainable for the long term. But it's always good to have a look at a company you've never heard of. I've heard of this company, but never had a look at it. And the chart looks atrocious. This is the sort of chart we do see a lot of these companies that are not profitable, burning through cash, haven't quite really proved their business model. Share price has been in a downtrend for a long time. I'd say for 3 years, 2 years, really, 2 and a bit years, 2.5 years. Share price back in the start of 2022, when there was no concerns about profitability. In fact, I'd say companies who didn't care about profitability were probably performing better. And the share price of Remsense back then was as high as 52 cents. Now it's 2.5 cents. The share price of this company has fallen 95%. So again, this is the sort of company that needs to prove to me that it can be sustainable. Now, and because the share price has been a long-term downtrend, and even a really good volume has come in, so the market has actually liked this announcement. We have seen a little bit of weakness in the share price today. In fact, fair bit of weakness because the share price had been as high as 4 cents. Now it's 2.5 cents. So we have seen it selling. And the reason we've seen selling is because many shareholders have seen the opportunity to sell out of the company today, and there's been not enough demand. And that's the problem when a company is in or has been in a long-term downtrend. A lot of resistance, a lot of shareholders who want to get out, a lot of supply of shares on the market. But anyway, whole point of me doing this video or this channel is to share ideas. So if you did like what you heard in regards to what this company is doing, photogrammetry and AI and virtual reality, maybe this is a company you can take a closer look at. So that's coming in number 5. We have Remsense. Coming in number 4 is a company I do know a tiny bit about. The company's called Lynch Group. They released a trading update. I'm a little bit surprised the share price is not down as much. So by just knowing that, I'm a little bit surprised the share price is now not down as much than 2.87 cents. We know this particular announcement is negative. Now, there was interesting wording in this announcement, by the way. So they released this one at 8:45 a.m. So there was interesting wording in this announcement talking about Australia, China. This company sells flowers. I'm pretty sure they probably grow flowers. And in fact, Australia's leading vertically integrated wholesale and grower of flowers. So yeah, so they're vertically integrated when it comes to flowers. They grow the flowers and sell the flowers. And they have operations in Australia and China. So another one of those companies that is focusing on China. That could be a good thing or a bad thing. I have no idea about the Chinese culture. Do they love flowers? I suppose every culture probably loves flowers. How could you not love flowers? Anyway, the most important thing about this particular training update is the numbers. Here we go. Outlook. Financial year 24 4-year group EBITDA is expected to be at least $39 million. Previous guidance was EBITDA to be between 40 and 43. Now, just the wording here. So if they just said is expected to be 39 million, this would be the definition of a profit downgrade or an EBITDA downgrade. But they said, or they put the word least there. Now, I'm thinking, I'm putting too much thought into this. I'm over-analyzing every single word they're using. But this suggests to me there is a possibility that the EBITDA will be higher or within their previous guidance. Maybe that's what the market is thinking as well. Maybe that's why the share price is not down by as much. But I'm pretty sure if they said is expected to be 39 million, the share price would be down by more than 2% because this would be a downgrade. It's not necessarily downgrade because of that word least. That's the only reason I was intrigued by this announcement. So let's have a look at the chart. Is this a company to be interested in? This company is profitable. I'm pretty sure they are. We can confirm that right now. Oh, in the last year they were not. Actually, that's the last half year, sorry. So they lost $30 million in the last half year, but the previous 4 half years, they were profitable. Or 1 year, they were barely profitable. So it seems like this company also exists on low margins. So would I be interested in this company? No. Chart looks pretty, well, it's not as bad as it could be because the share price is going sideways and has been going sideways for about 4 months. So maybe this is a consolidation period. Now let's have a look at the weekly chart. And this company listed, I'm going to say 2020, late 2020. So let me just have a look. No, that's a different company. So this company listed April 2021. And the reason I know that is because if you go back 1 week, we're going all the way back to 2010, August 2010. So that's another company that had a ticker code LGL back in 2010 that either was taken out, went bankrupt, or changed their ticker code. And so that's one of the reasons I don't like TradingView is they combine different companies if they have the same ticker code. And in fact, you can see the dates down here, the years, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2021, 2022. So have a look at ComSec, this one. And I'll just have a look at the weekly chart in ComSec. You'll be able to see what I said, see what I mean. So have a look at the 5-year weekly chart. And it starts, there it is. It starts, yeah, there it is. April 2021. And since then, share price is in a downtrend. Share price has fallen. Well, share price has more than halved since they listed. And I don't think this company has a really high market cap. Let's have a look at the market cap. I'm going to say 150 million. 165.4 million. So I don't think that's too high. It has a dividend yield of 8.12%. P ratio 0. So that means their earnings are infinite. Does that mean that earnings are infinite? Because it's not negative, it's 0. So price over infinite earnings will give a P ratio of 0, or very close to 0. No, that's not true, is it? No, it's the complete opposite. Price would be 0. I'm too tired. All right, so that's LGL. No interest in that company, but it's always good to see a trading update from a company. Let's have a look at the company that came in number 3, a company I am trading right now. So that's the main reason I've included GQG. GQG Partners released their monthly assets under management announcement. The market has liked it. I liked it, and the chart looks brilliant. I'm going to open up this funds under management and the previous funds under management. The other day, Magellan Financial Group released their funds under management, and there's still outflows with that company, but it's fairly small. So let's just compare the flows for Magellan Group, which was virtually zero or negative, to GQG. And to do this, that's why I've opened up 2 of the announcements, because they actually don't give a flow for the month. They give a flow since the start of the period, year to date. So anyway, so funds under management, this is the May one. Yep. Funds under management have increased from 142 million to 150.1 million. So funds have increased, but some of that could be just share price appreciation or asset value appreciation. And they've also mentioned down the bottom, net flows update. As at 31st of May 2024, we experienced net inflows for the year to date of 9.1 billion. So that's the year to date, not the month. So what I did is I went back to the previous funds under the management. So this is how we can see how much had flowed into the company, excluding asset value appreciation, because this one said net inflows for the year to date of 6.3 billion. So actually, we don't have to do that, because I think this doesn't take into account asset appreciation. This is actually flows. This is people vesting their money into QGQ. So it went from 6.3 billion, was it 6.3 billion, to 9.1 billion. So $2.8 billion of flows for the month. That's pretty good. And that's the reason why the market likes this company right now, or this fund manager right now. They are performing, or investors love it. So let's have a look at the company's chart. And because I'm trading this company, should be dead giveaway that the chart looks pretty good. And the chart does look pretty good. That's the weekly chart. Let's have a look at the daily chart. Chart looks pretty good. It's just gone to a new all-time high just today. And this will pop up on my 3-month high watch list. It's been off and on that list for about 4 months. So that's coming in number 3. We have GQG, my least favorite ticker code on the ASX. I always have trouble saying that ticker code. For some reason, GQG. I have to think about it, because I just want to say QGQ. I don't know why. Coming in number 2 is an intriguing company. A company this is another company I had heard the name, but I didn't really know what they did. I did know this company had something to do with data centers, but I didn't know exactly what. They released a trading update. The other interesting thing about this company was the trading today. I actually had a look. Really interesting trading. I could have bought this company on open at 4.2 cents and sold about an hour later, and the share price yesterday closed at 4.6 cents. So share price on open was down about 10%. And I could have sold maybe an hour later. I think it was an hour later. I had a quick look. About an hour later, at 5.5 cents, that would have been, what's that? That's almost a 30% profit in a couple of hours. If only I took a position in this company on open. Okay, so trading update. And this gave me an idea of what this company does. So they do have their foot in door when it comes to data centers, but it's just what sort of data centers? So DXN are prefabricated modular data center specialist. Yes, modular data center specialist. I did actually have a look. I had to look up modular data center. So we're talking about mobility. So taking data centers where they might be needed, and then you can actually move them around. That's what I think modular data centers are. So let's have a look. Prefabricated, maybe that is also a part of it. So modular data centers. A modular data center is a portable method of deploying data center capacity. That's probably a better word, portable, maybe not mobile, but mobile, I suppose, can be used as well. So I did not know this sort of thing existed until today. So what is the market like for modular data centers? I have no idea. So that's sort of maybe a new research project I could do. Anyway, here's the thing. So the company advises that on order revenue for financial year 24 is expected to exceed 10 million. So it could be 20 million, it could be 50 million, it could be $1 billion, because all those numbers exceed 10 million. It could be $10 million and 1 cent, because that exceeds $10 million. Materially higher, this is the most important thing, materially higher than this financial year 23 revenue of 6.6 million. The revenue growth has been driven by the deployment of new modular data centers across multiple clients. Now, I do or am fairly bullish on data centers. In fact, it says down below in the back section, this company designs, builds, owns, and operates data centers. Okay, so I started to read this announcement. I went, oh, this is a really intriguing company. And then I had a look at the market cap of the company. I was like, oh, I expect it to be way more than, was it 15 million? 9 million. I was way off again. This company doesn't even have a market cap of 10 million. This is a data center company. So it's a very small company. And in fact, but we already know that by the revenue, but it's a really small company. And I did actually have a look at the last few financial statements. They were operating cash flow positive the last quarter, if I remember correctly. Pretty sure they were. Just open it up and just confirm that. Was this company operating cash flow positive in the last quarter? Yes, they were, by 228,000. Now, what might concern someone is the year-to-date, the receipts were almost 8 million, which means possible receipts in this quarter might be down a fair bit. Now, in saying that, receipts and revenue are not the same. They can differ by a fair bit. The other thing was interesting is this company is modular data centers, and I would have expected this company to be fairly capital intensive, or spend a fair bit of money on properly planned equipment, but they didn't in this quarter, and year to date, not much, only 34,000 in the first 9 months of the year. So I am missing something when it comes to this company, because I expected a fair bit of money spent in property, plant, and equipment. Nothing. And cash on hand did increase by $1 million because they did a capital raising, looks like $915,000 capital raising. Anyway, so an interesting company. And then I had a look at the chart and I went, oh, the chart is starting to look interesting as well. This company must have done some sort of consolidation, because you can see the share price and the one-day candlesticks look really weird, not weird, but fairly not lumpy. They look like they're pip trading up and down by 1 cent. So you can see some period or some days it went from 6 to 7 cents and then back to 6 cents. So I would say that back here they were trading at 0.6 cents and then 0.7 cents, and then the company did a 10-for-1 share consolidation back in January of this year. Let's confirm that. Let's go back 1 year and then have a look at January. We can confirm this. Consolidation of capital, consolidation split, DXN, and I'm assuming it's a 10-for-1. They should say it here somewhere. Somewhere here. 15-for-1. Okay, I was a little bit off. 15-for-1. That's why the chart does look weird, and then it starts to look a little bit different, because they did the consolidation back in late January. But so let's ignore this. Let's have a look at the chart. The market is becoming interested in this company. This is the most important thing. This is the volume. The volume is starting to ramp up. Volume is starting to increase. Share price is increasing. So the market is becoming aware of this company. So this is a possible interesting play when it comes to data centers. A fairly small company, albeit, but the market is becoming interested. And a nice little day as well today, up to 5 cents. And I'll just show you the course of sales. So this was really interesting. So share price has fallen a little bit recently. So the share price opened up 4.2 cents. Just imagine you sold at 4.2 cents and then saw the share price rally to 5.5 cents. You're kicking yourself. And then the share price just kept getting bid up. So it went from 4.2 to 5.5 cents at 12:27. I thought it was within a few hours, but it was like 3 hours and 27 minutes. So that just shows you if you do rush something. But anyway, so share price went from being down 10% to being up about 17% in about 3 hours of trading. Actually, 2.5 hours of trading. So yeah, so this company trades me for a few reasons, and it could have come in a number one. Maybe it should have come in at number one because it intrigues me a little bit more than the company that comes in or came in at number two, and that is LTR Pharma. LTP. That's right. LTR Pharma, but the ticker code is LTP because the ticker code LTR is Liontown. Yes. So LTR Pharma up 26.6%, one of the best performing companies on the ASX today, and maybe even for the last month. It's done really well. They went into trading halt on the 4th, and they came out of the trading halt today, 11:39 a.m. Spontan achieves positive clinical study results. So fortunately, I did have a look at the announcements that were released after 10 a.m. Before I started recording this video. So this company was not on my top 5 announcements. And then I saw this and I went, I reckon the market's going to love this announcement. And there's a reason behind that when we look at the chart. I do know about this company just because of their chart. So the market loves this company. And without even opening up this announcement, it's positive, or the market knows it's positive or thinks it's positive. Now they've got to have the word positive in there, so it's a positive announcement. But other than that, I don't know anything about this company. So let's have a look at the about section first. LT Pharma is focused on improving men's health, physically and mentally, through the commercialization of innovative nasal spray treatment for erectile dysfunction. I'm thankful that I never have to use this product. And then they talk about erectile dysfunction. Okay, so that's okay. Well, there you go. And this was achieved Spontan. So their product must be called Spontan, I'm assuming right now. And initial shots show that Spontan achieves rapid absorption and fast onset of action compared to oral PDES inhibitors. And there's a lot of drugs there I've never heard of. Okay, so it does sound positive for the company, and the market likes it. But the market has liked this company for a while. So let's have a look at the chart. Now, this is a recent listing on the ASX. When I say recent, maybe a year ago or just over a year ago. Not even less than that. We're talking about 6 months ago, 7 months ago, December 2023. And then share price just went sideways forever from December all the way through to May. But in the last month, wow, the share price has gone from 24 cents up to over $1 today. And just look at the rise in share price. This was a company that was the flavor of the month. I'm going to call it the flavor of the month. And then today, look at that one-day candlestick. Actually, it's actually a bearish one-day candlestick because the share price is more towards the bottom of the day than the top of the day. You want to see the share price close towards the high of the day, and the high of today was $1.04. So a fair bit of selling has come in or for LTR Pharma. But if we don't see continuous selling, maybe this is a company to keep an eye on in the short term, maybe even the long term, if they can continue releasing positive announcements in regards to their erectile dysfunction nasal spray. I thought I heard everything until I heard this, that they have a thing for erectile dysfunction, and you put it up your nose, or you just spray your nose, and it delivers something that could help you and your problems. Go LTR Pharma. Chart looks, like, do I have this company on the white? Well, yeah, I do, just because of the chart. And I knew nothing about this company, but I did know the chart looked okay. The market, for some reason, was falling in love with this company. Okay, so that's the top 5 announcements of the day. Now I'm going to go through these charts really quickly, starting with J-Ride, a company I don't really think has a sustainable business model. And the market says, thinks the same as me. Share price 1.6 cents. Market cap is $2 million. Well-defined downtrend. No way, Jose, when it comes to J-Ride. Novonix up 9% last time I looked. Oh, that was the wrong code. Novonix in ASX. Share price has been or was in a really long-term downtrend. Maybe there was a bit of a shift in sentiment here. It was trying to shift, and the share price has moved back into a downtrend. Even though today was a nice day, up 9.3%, still well off the highs we saw not 2 months ago, back in April. The highs then was $1.18. Now it's 70 cents. So I don't have much interest in Novonix unless I see a decrease in the volatility, share price going sideways, and then the company releases something really positive and the share price takes off. That's when I might have interest in Novonix. Up until then, no. City Chic market must be down low. It must be like 25 million or 62 million, way off. This was a market darling when it comes to retail companies back in 2000, actually a long time. Back from about 2018 through to 2022, share price of this company went from about 10 cents to a high of $6.75. Now, there were a lot of, not the mergers and acquisitions, City Chic had a lot of brands, and then they sold those to, who did they sell those to? I'm pretty sure this company was called Specialty Fashion. They had all these brands, including City Chic. They sold the majority of their brands to someone else. Was it Mosaic Brands? I forget who. And they just kept City Chic. And that seemed like it was a great decision up until recently, the last few years. You can just see the share price has gone all the way back down to 27 cents. So hopefully you have not been a shareholder of this company. And what I'm looking for with City Chic is some sort of sign. The downtrend is coming to an end. No sign just yet. We have had some little rallies, but those little rallies have not been sustainable. Rocketboots. Rocketboots. Interesting name for a company, and particularly what they do. Not sure the relationship between helping banks do stuff. What was it again they did? Got it. Machine learning applications to optimize businesses and solve security challenges. Okay, whatever. The main thing here is the chart looks chart looks really meh, and this is a small company, and I have no interest just based off this chart. So again, I'm looking for opportunities. And Shaver Shop, is this an opportunity? This is discretionary. Discretionary had a good day today. This is not a staple, is it? No, I don't think it's a staple. The chart looks, again, just going sideways. Although it is going sideways and seems like it is trading in a range and been trading in a range for a while. I think let's have a look at the weekly chart. Oh, stupid trading view. You have to press auto fit start to screen. There we go. Yeah, it's been trading in a range since 2020. Just, yeah. I reckon the time to buy this is if it drops below $1. That's when you might be interested in buying it. And right now it's $1.14. And the top of the range is about $1.25. So you can make a nice 25% if you buy the bottom and then sell the top. If it keeps trading in this range, there's no guarantees moving forward. So it's Shaver Shop. BBT, Bluebet, released a nice little announcement. And this looked like it wants to break out. So long-term downtrend, share price is going sideways. Really good increase in volume the last few months as the share price goes sideways. So we are seeing increasing interest. There is suggestions that volume precedes price action. Possibly we're seeing that with Bluebet right now. We're seeing increasing volume, but we haven't seen the share price break out. So keep your eye on Bluebet. If it does break out, that will maybe not confirm that volume precedes price, but maybe it would be not confirmation, but it would be, I don't know the word, it would be more evidence that it can happen. How about that? Anyway, so Bluebet still going sideways, not breaking out, no interest in this company. Lululemon, I did mention Lululemon Athletica. So the share price was in a downtrend, and they released results that were better than expected. But because the share price has dropped a lot of resistance. That's why it's a red candlestick, because selling has come in. It wasn't that long ago. The share price was actually higher. So like less than a month ago, share price was higher. Just really negative sentiment in this company for some reason. And then they surprised the market today. So that's Lululemon. And the last one is that Farm Pride company, who have avian bird flu, or just bird flu. And just based off the chart, no interest in this company either. Share price going sideways. Markup 14.4 million. Okay, so that's all I've got for today's video. If you have any thoughts, any questions, Anything, just leave in the comment section of this video. Otherwise, I am not a financial advisor. If you do need financial advice, make sure you seek out someone who is qualified and can speak to your own financial needs. That's it for this video. Have a good day. Bye.